if it's for the common good of the party, and in the case of the NPP, the party remains supreme and is bigger than any individual. So unless otherwise determined by National Council, this is the decision of National Council.
Okay. So in terms of the division, we know in the past, the history has shown that people get so disappointed, they either say things that hurt not only the person's political career, but the party as well going forward.
True.
Some even break away from the party. Joe Sowusu, he's currently Joe Wise is an example of that, and he has shown actually that sometimes that's a good thing to do. I mean, so I just wonder whether...
I'll plead the fifth on that.
I know, no problem about that. But has the party thought about that? And what mechanisms...
I mean,
what is the directive on that?
The moment you go for independent, clearly that means you want to be out of the party's domain. And so, again, each and every aspirant is going to be made to sign an aspiring parliamentary candidate, let me read from our rules and regulations, shall be made to sign a contractual undertaking with the party committing himself or herself to support whoever is eventually elected or selected as the party's parliamentary candidate after the election or selection process in the event that he or she is not selected or elected. He shall also undertake not to contest as an independent parliamentary candidate or as a parliamentary candidate on the ticket of any other political party, and that the NPP reserves the right to restrain him or her should he or she decide otherwise. So there are inbuilt mechanisms as well.
You have fantastic words, but it's just practical.
It is practical.
You're going to compel them.
Well, we did that in the orphan constituencies. In every political party, once there's no discipline, there's total breakdown. And once there's serious enforcement of its rules and regulations, you don't live in an animal kingdom. I may not be happy with the decision may be bitter, the decision may be unpalatable, but that may be the popular decision of the party on the ground. And that shows your worth as a politician. You go through the fire, you go through the oven, and you come out properly baked. And it may not be your time this time, but definitely NPP also rewards hard work. NPP is a party that, the NPP spirit, never forget those who sacrifices on this road to power.
But you say you're going to compel them to do what exactly?
Well, to sign an undertaking. We did that with the orphan constituencies. And then we're hoping to also enforce these rules and regulations as recommended by National Council as well.
So is this a precondition?
NEC and National Council.
Is it a precondition for qualifying to run in the primary?
Well, clearly. I mean, if you come for vetting, you'll be made to sign this at the vetting.
Okay.
Yes. So that is where the decision will be made. When you are not satisfied, you can also move on to the National Appeals Committee of the party. That's if you are disqualified at the vetting process. Then you can take your case higher. The National Appeals Committee, I can tell you, sometimes their recommendations, afterwards they must also forward it to NEC and Council. These two bodies have the right to overturn decisions of the National Appeals Committee. And in several instances, they've done that.
So you're saying that if I don't agree to the terms of not going independent and breaking away, then you automatically are disqualified from even running? Well,
when you subject yourself to the rules of our party, there are so many political parties. But once you decide to also come through the NPP process, we have rules and regulations that governs the conduct.
And you must abide by them.
And you must abide by it.
There's something you said that I'm interested in. You say that a candidate, as a parliamentary candidate on the ticket of any political party, and the NPP reserve the right to restrain him or her should he or she decide otherwise. How are you going to do this?
Well, once you sign an undertaking with a body, you're also giving your legal right to that document that you've also signed, and that you're also then enjoined, and that this is a collective decision that we have both taken. And in the event where I break away from it, this document I have signed is also enforceable in the court of law if we decide to take it.
To restrain the person from breaking away from the party?
Well, no. Not breaking away. But what we're saying is that once you sign this document, we are also restraining you from contesting as an independent parliamentary candidate.
No, you say
or as a parliamentary candidate on the ticket of any other political party.
So you can't break away and run on any political party.
Absolutely.
And you say that if you go ahead, insist on doing this,
the NPP will enforce this particular document that
you restrain. The word is restrain.
Restrain him or her.
How do you do that?
I've given you a clear example of some of the rights that we also reserve to also take.
I mean, I just want to make this practical. So I sign this. I get onto your ticket.
Unless you don't believe in what you're signing. And you're supposed to read the small print as well.
Well,
this is not in small print.
I hear you. I mean, I sign this,
yes.
Go into the primary, lose. The next time you see I'm declaring from another party, how are you going to restrain the person and stop him from doing that, although I've signed previously? I mean, how practical is this? This is words, pure and simple. There's nothing you can do, can you, to restrain anybody who decides to violate what he signed.
The NPP is a big political party. In the past, we've seen people go contest as independent candidates. And as I speak to you, they are struggling to even get back into the NPP fold.
No, Joe Owusu's case is
not that,
one. You plead the fifth on that, but I keep bringing it up.
Yeah, I plead the fifth on that. But I can give you other examples of some who were even appointees under the Kufuor era. And they did contest as independent candidate. And up to date, they are struggling to even get back into the NPP. Some have been pardoned. It's a process. We've also seen people who contested, as independent candidate, more or less. And also people that after primaries, they decided to also break away and all that, blah, blah, blah. As I speak to you, the General Secretary's office has several petitions of people who want to even get back and appeal, want to get back into the NPP fold.
Understandably.
And
you are in government.
Well, not necessarily. In government or opposition, the NPP is a formidable force. And I'm not sure you even underestimate our strength, even in opposition. And so it's always in your interest to even remain in it and fight someday for it to get to your turn.
Okay, so that and everybody understands this. People have accepted that you're going to crack the whip in that manner.
We are going, because look, as you indicated, we have a very short period from April to December. And so if there's no discipline, if we don't enforce our own rules and regulations and guidelines, and the Constitution, the spirit and letter of our party's Constitution, there's no way that we can get out of the situation. So once we are clear and we are also fair, that if Evans does say that it's wrong, it's wrong. If Euku does say that it's wrong, it's wrong. That is the only way you can also build that confidence in the system and in the process. And again, we've sent out quite some very solid people onto the field to also help manage this process.